And welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. I was in my local video game store not too long ago, and I was really surprised to see a new Guitar Hero game on the shelf, and even a new Rock Band game. I find that surprising because I had kind of thought all of the rhythm games and musical plastic instrument stuff had kind of died out with the previous generation. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Guitar Hero and Rock Band. I'm going to maybe do a video of them someday if I can wrap my head around the whole copyright strike for playing licensed music thing. However, as much as I am fond of them, they kind of faded away for a while. And yet now they're back, and so that shows how little I know on the subject. Another factor that I think kind of made me surprised is in many ways, people kind of feel like the Rock Band games and the Guitar Hero games kind of jumped the shark when the Beatles were out, and then Van Halen and all of that other stuff. I think people had kind of thought, well, you really can't go much further with the Rock Band slash Guitar Hero idea. And a really strong indication of the whole jumping of the shark thing came with this. Let me get this guitar out of the way and show you what we're talking about is this. Guitar Hero on Tour. This is specifically the Decades title, which I think was the second of the Guitar Hero games that this is a part of. It's for the Nintendo DS. Yes, they actually made a Guitar Hero game for the DS, and the first one was just Guitar Hero on Tour. The set list on it didn't really particularly interest me, so I kind of passed on it. And I always thought, there's no way this controller is going to work. And then Decades came out, and it had a pretty decent selection of music that I liked. And I thought, yeah, okay, I'm going to pick this one up. The third one was Modern Hits, which was mostly stuff from about the last 10 years, none of which particularly interested me, so I passed on that one. And then there was a fourth one, not technically a Guitar Hero game, it was called Band Hero. And I'm kind of tempted to maybe look into that one. Maybe fulfill my dreams of being a rock god. Anyway, so yes, this is Guitar Hero on Tour, the series. This is specifically the Decades one. And I thought I might fire up the old DS here and show you what this game is, or at least what the controller is like. Because it actually, for something that is kind of a wacky idea that you didn't think they'd actually be able to pull off, it works surprisingly well. Now, I am going to have a problem that, again, with the whole licensed music and copyright strike thing, I'm going to have to play this game with the volume down, so I don't know how this is going to turn out, but we're talking about the controller, and we're talking about how does it play, so I think I can get away with that. Anyway, what comes in this box? Well, inside you have this Guitar Hero grip, and I'll just see if I can pull it out here. Set that to the side momentarily. In addition, they provided you with some stickers so you can bling out your rock group, whatever. What's also nice is, well, okay, let me get to the other items down in there in a second. The controller is actually surprisingly good. It comes in this little, let me just take the packaging apart here if I can, carefully, because it's got a few bits here. This is the grip, which connects to your Nintendo DS. There's the game, and here's a little adapter that I'm going to be trying out in a minute. I've never used it before. But let's stick with one thing at a time. Here is the grip. Let's take that off there. So what they decided was, okay, the standard Guitar Hero and Rock Band control scheme has 5 buttons that you're supposed to be pressing when you're strumming your instrument. But they knew that since this thing is going to be bolted onto a Nintendo DS, and therefore you're not going to be able to hold your Nintendo DS very securely, they give you a wrist strap for it. So it sort of goes like that. And that meant you're not going to be able to have the 5th fret. So they made it only 4 buttons. To be honest, it works though. It's actually, I'm glad they went that way. And then this whole thing, you can see here, this little tooth thing slides into the DS. In fact, let's do that. Also, what's really cool, in the neck of it here, we have a little pick. You could almost call it the pick of destiny. Yes, this is what you use. You could use just your regular stylus. I mean, it's just got a little plastic nub on the end, essentially working like a stylus. But we're doing this to emulate our dreams to be a rock god, and so therefore, of course, we want to have a pick. Who wants to use a stylus for this game? Anyway, so let's get this onto the DS, and we'll show you essentially how this all plugs together. So I've got my DS Lite here, and it has to be on the DS Lite. This won't work on the DSi, nor will it work on the 3DS. Why? Because they got rid of this, the Game Boy Advance slot in those later versions, and as a result, you won't be able to plug in the guitar grip. Goes in here, just plugs right in like that. Good solid click, and you can see there, that's essentially how we're going to hold it book style. I'll just model it first here. So essentially my hand is going to go in here, wrap around there, and I'm going to use the pick to strum on this thing, while on here we've got the Guitar Hero game playing. Another item before I start up the game is this little logo here is actually just printed on a piece of paper that's curved inside the controller. And as you can see in the box, they actually provided a second one. If you like, you could take this plastic housing off and get yourself a new looking little logo. Apparently, even I think the Modern Hits has one of these, and I know Band Hero does. Like, they all come with Guitar Hero on Tour, the basic model, and then you just slide in whichever one of these you like. It's a very cool idea. There's even websites full of templates where people have put their own favorite rock bands and stuff, printed their own little logo and design on this so that they could slide it in and have a customized grip. So I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, oh wait, and of course we also have to put the game inside here before I start playing, before I start rocking out. Alright, game goes in there, and snugly put it on our hand, fire it up. And the important thing is you want to make sure it says there is a DS option pack inserted. If it says that there isn't one, that means the grip is not properly plugged in there. And here we have Guitar Hero on Tour, the Decades version. It's got some nice little features. We've got single player. You can play it multiplayer Wi-Fi with or in local wireless mode with a friend if they also have the game. There's even a training mode and some various options. So let me just get into the single player. So here we are in the single player mode. Now you can actually customize your character to have different looks and stuff. I've gone for a kind of a Billy Idol kind of a rocker look because I really want to be a rock god. Anyway, let's just do one game. You can buy clothes and you can change different things. You can even change a guitar. You're going to be strumming on an image of a guitar down here, and you can upgrade that and change what type of a guitar it is, whether it's a Flying V or whatever. I think mine's a sort of a retro 8-bit looking guitar. It doesn't make any difference to the gameplay, but it's neat little unlocks that make give you some purpose for playing through the game a few times. You can see I've got my quantity of cash down there. So let's play a game. You can even choose to be a lead guitar, bass, rhythm, or you can even do a guitar duo where, again, if you had a Wi-Fi accessible friend also with the game, the two of you could play off against each other. It's neat that they built all those different features into the game here. Because I'm going to be doing this in a very awkward pose, I'm actually going to switch to easy mode. And we can choose our decades. I'm going to go with the 80s, of course. And you got a great selection of songs here. Now, unfortunately, this is the part where I have to kill the volume. And it's really unfortunate because some of these songs are great. You've got I Can't Drive 55, the one I love, La Bamba, Any Way You Want It. I mean, there's a great, I can't remember what the total number of songs is. I think it's something like 20 or 30. Like this particular game has got several songs from each decade. Well, what do we got here? We got 5, and then another 5, and oh, I haven't unlocked a couple. So we're looking at about a dozen just for the 80s, and you know there's the 70s and the 90s and the 2000s as well. So we've got quite a variety of different songs here. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to actually play any of these because of obviously copyright infringement problems. But let's assume if I could do it with the volume playing, I'll go with Any Way You Want It. Let's just play that one by Journey. If I was a proper rock god, I'd be playing this loud, trust me. Anyway, I'm going to try and show you my fingers strumming the notes that are coming down the highway here, and I'm going to hold my pick in an odd way so that you can at least see that I'm doing everything here. But this is the rock band, this is the Guitar Hero experience. Like I'm strumming my notes as they come down the highway. You see my fingers moving there. And the more notes I get in sequential order, the more I build up star power. That's that little lightning bolt symbol I just had. The fact that it looks like an odd way to hold this thing, that's just the nature of me holding this in front of a camera. It's actually very comfortable to do. Now you can see that the microphone has started to pulse to indicate that I've got my star power standing by. So, of course, being a rock god, I want to launch star power the right way. Rock on, baby! Yeah! There we go, you see? You can actually just shout into the microphone with a good rocker tune or a good rocker message, and it launches star power. Luckily, you're not required to do that. I just like to do that because, you know, it's me fulfilling my dreams. If you're in public or on a bus or something like that, you can just blow into the microphone as well. That also launches star power, but where's the fun in that? I'm hoping you can see my fingers. It's hard for me to concentrate on not losing the song and also making sure everything is appearing on the camera properly here. Just move my hand a bit. There we go. I don't know if you can make it out. I'm still trying to get my fingers out of the way so you can see what my left hand is doing. It doesn't look comfortable, but it actually works quite well. Okay, here's more of the star power, so I'm going to blow into the microphone this time. There you go. See, you don't have to yell out "rock on, baby" or anything like that. I just like to do that for fun. Anyway, yeah, this is the Guitar Hero experience. I mean, you've got all of the things that the console larger versions have. Sure, it's maybe not quite as many songs and there's no DLC or anything, but it is Guitar Hero in a portable form. And actually, this grip works really well. It may not look very comfortable from this angle, but I can guarantee you it works perfectly fine. Let's see if we can get a nice little going there. Ooh, I'm losing it. Yeah, Guitar Hero on tour with the grip. It's actually very good. Now, I did mention there's also this little adapter thing here. What is this for? Well, this is if you really want to rock it old school with an original Nintendo DS. Yes, this is my original fat model. I've never actually plugged this in. Apparently you can use this to connect the control grip, the Guitar Hero grip, into an original generation DS. So let's try that out. I'm very curious to see how this is going to work. So that has to go into there. Now, unfortunately, it actually requires a bit of surgery. I would need to undo these screws, take this thing off, and then replace them with this one so that this would then fit inside the original DS housing. I don't know if I'm actually going to bother with that. That's a lot more work than I had anticipated, and it does have a little warning here, do not over-tighten. I don't want to really necessarily break this or cause any uncertain damage here. So I'll tell you what, I'm actually going to bypass this whole thing. Alright, well that is Guitar Hero on Tour. This is the Decades title. As I say, there was original Guitar Hero on Tour and modern hits as well. The track packs on those other two games didn't really interest me, so I just stuck with Decades, and I do like the songs that are on here. I may also get Band Hero, as I mentioned before, because it has some kind of neat extras on it. And also the music for Band Hero spans different generations of music, different decades, so it's got some stuff that I grew up enjoying, and also a lot of modern great stuff as well, so I might get Band Hero. It's just unfortunate that nobody really made any kind of a homebrew with using this controller in mind. I mean, there were a couple of projects in the works about 5-10 years ago, or 2008, so 7 years ago. somebody had a title in the works, a project called Fret Fury, which essentially worked just like Guitar Hero here. You plug this in the side, the notes came down, and you strummed just like you do with Guitar Hero. And there's footage online of somebody playing a Nirvana song with this Fret Fury concept. But I don't think it really flew. The person who was playing it said that the notes don't actually strike. The timing is all off with these controls. It's a neat proof of concept, but didn't actually take off as a project. It's too bad, because honestly, get me a hacked cartridge that I can put my own music on, or at least have somebody out there posting more songs, modern and old, that we could play using this controller. I'd be on board. I think it'd be a great idea. But it does seem to be one of those little concepts that just never really took off. So, but maybe I'll get Band Hero, because, you know, sometimes I think about how I'd really love to be a rock god. Anyway, that's enough of that. So, yes, we'll stop the video here. So this is Guitar Hero on tour for the Nintendo DS. Haven't talked about the DS for a while, so I thought, yeah, let's give it a bit of love. And then I noticed, yes, Guitar Hero is in the stores. What a perfect time to talk about this on-tour peripheral and the game that came with it. It actually works very well. Right, that's it. So until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole. Yeah! Good night, YouTube! We love you!